It's a huge day for Skoda Auto India with the launch of the much anticipated India platform specific Skoda Kushaq. The compact SUV is here, prices are out, and it is the culmination of what's been a huge project for the company here in India. Let's talk about that with Zac Hollis. Good afternoon, Zac. Thank you for joining us. And first up, congratulations.
Yeah, very happy, Siddharth. We've been building up to this moment for the last 3 years since we announced the 8,000 crore investment into India. And finally, to bring the car to the market is really, for me, is a proud moment for all the work that I have done and the whole team have done. And there's a whole team that have developed this from the design team right the way through to the sales and marketing team, production, planning, logistics. Everything's been done to bring this car to the market. So yeah, I'm very happy with where we are now. I'm happy with the pricing. I think we've got good products that are well built, well appreciated for their drive characteristics, engines, safety, product quality, and this is what we're offering in the marketplace. So very pleased, Siddharth, yes.
So I know, the pricing question is always, the important question on a day like this for the press. But in every new model launch, pricing is always a challenge, right? Getting it just right, and of course, balancing a whole lot of challenges that you may have at your end. This particular product, though, given the India 2.0 strategy, and like I said, this huge lead up to it, how much of a challenge? How tough was it to get that pricing right?
Pricing is always something because you've got to be competitive in the marketplace, but you've also got to make sure that you've got a business case, and that's what it's all about as well. So I think we are competitive in the marketplace. I'm confident of that. I think we also have a business case, which is good because that means we can continue to invest in India going forward. So yes, it's a challenge, but I think what we've got to do, the job now is for the sales team, and that's to get people driving the car. That's the most important thing, is the test drive experience, because that's where the car really comes alive, and that's when people really see the benefits of the TSI technology that's in the car. The handling and the drive of the car is when they drive the car. So I'm looking forward to getting the cars into the showrooms. They start being dispatched today, and then getting some test drives. This is important.
So lots of sort of related questions to that. But first up, right from the time you had the global debut to all the talk around the car ever since, what are your dealers telling you? What's the sort of feedback and inquiries they've already started getting?
Very good. We've been expanding our dealer network, as you know, Siddharth. We started last year with 65 dealers. By the end of this year, we will be at 150 dealers. So there's a massive expansion in our dealer network. And particularly our new dealers are really excited about the future. They've made significant investments in the brand, and we've brought new partners in as well, which is also really important for moving the brand forward. So they're very excited. The sales team are very excited, and we're just really waiting to welcome customers through the doors now.
I know you must have an internal expectation in terms of the kind of booking numbers you'd have, maybe in the first month, etc. And I'm not going to push you to give me that number. But given this anticipation and excitement that we have seen, do you think you'll breach that number?
I'm confident we will. We're tracking the numbers every hour. I can't give you them, but we're tracking them. Our plan over 30,000 cars. That's our plan for this year, which is almost 3 times what we sold last year. And then we'll more than double that in 2022. But of course, remember, at the end of this year, we'll bring a sedan into the marketplace, which is also off the back of the India 2.0 investment plan. So yeah, of course, the job now of the whole sales and marketing team of the network is to start getting the bookings in, and so far things have started well.
So when you say end of the year, you mean this year calendar, right? Not fiscal.
Yeah, no. This financial year we'll be selling over 30,000 cars. That's the plan, which is almost 3 times last year, and then we will go to over 60,000 in 2022.
All right. Now, the part about the bookings we've talked about, the fact that the cars will be there for people to test drive from today is certainly going to I think build up a certain amount of excitement as well. But what's the delivery schedule you're looking at? Now that the prices are announced, you're obviously going to have more bookings on hand from today. The 1 liter and then the 1.5. What's the sort of delivery schedule you're looking at?
So we will start delivering the cars on the 12th of July. That's the plan, and we should be able to deliver a good number of cars on the 12th of July. We can't work it out exactly yet. It depends on order take and production scheduling, etc., etc. But the 12th of July will be the delivery date of the 1 litre TSI, and then the 1.5 will start being delivered to customers about a month later. So that there's just a bit of a delay to the 1.5 as well. And the test drive cars for the 1.5 will also come later. So customers need to wait a little bit more time for the 1.5, not long, but the 1 litre will take the majority of the volumes. And on the 12th of July, we start delivering cars.
So in terms of production as well, has the focus been on just the 1 litre and the 1.5 hasn't yet hit production? Is that correct to assume?
No, the 1.5 has hit production. In fact, the journalists have also driven the 1.5. There's just a little bit of a delay in terms of the production ramp up. It's not even a delay, it's planned. You start one engine, then you start the next, and you go on from there. And of course, the 1 litre TSI we started with, then the 1.5 is ramping up, and that will be delivered to the dealers in early August.
All right. So I was referring to the India 2.0 strategy and how obviously the platform that you talked about earlier is sort of central to it, as is also the 1 litre engine. I mean, there's the Kushaq and the next sedan that you mentioned as well. Is it fair to assume that that's the reason why we see more variants of the Kushaq featuring the 1 litre as opposed to the 1.5?
You're very you're jumping around a bit, but I think I got the question. You'll have to check the quality yourself later. The 1 litre engine will be the majority of sales, as I mentioned earlier, and of course it's localized. If you look at it, it's quite normal to put your high-powered engines in your highest trim. Let's also remember that the 1.5 engine is mostly imported, so as a result, it's an expensive engine. So it comes with the highest level of trim, and that's how we've got it. But I think anybody buying the Ambition trim and taking the 1 litre TSI will not be disappointed in that engine either.
I'm actually more curious about looking at all those variants anyway. So I agree with you that it's probably more about driving it and experiencing it yourself. When it comes to the car itself, lots has been talked about in terms of how for Skoda India, a lot of those features, a lot of those things that have happened with Kushaq are real big firsts. But from the segment's point of view, what for you becomes like the unique selling points? What's going to be the huge pitch to the buyer?
I think, without a doubt, it's the driving. Without a doubt, it's the engines, it's the TSI. Remember, we're bringing TSI technology against competitors' MPI engines and diesels. And I think this gives a significant advantage over the competition. And this driving dynamics, the TSI, the power and the efficiency of the 1 litre TSI. And of course, it's more environmentally friendly engine as well going forward. So I think definitely the USP and the advantage is down to the TSI engine. And we'll also bring very safe cars to the market, as we have always done as a brand. And the car comes loaded with safety features, including ESC standard across the range.
I was thrilled to see ESC standard, and I even tweeted about it. I was very happy to see that. But and it's like you said, I think in many ways we kind of expected that as well. So not a surprise from a brand like yours. On the point of diesel, though, I mean, given the way the segment has been all this while, I know we've talked about specifically the Volkswagen Group as well as Skoda's petrol strategy the last several months. So I don't want you to sort of have to repeat that. But when it comes to just this segment and the competition claiming very high sales on the diesel side, what's your plan to counter that?
I think, again, it comes down to driving the engines and experiencing this 1 litre TSI engine. And I think let's remember here, yes, it's an SUV, but we're not talking about a big SUV. This is a mid-sized SUV competing in this mid-sized SUV segment. Yeah, we've talked about diesel versus petrol. And I think, you look long term, I think that there's not a big future for diesel in India in passenger vehicles. That's my opinion. And I think when you get to 2023 and the new norms, then diesel is also going to be even more expensive for customers to buy. And then the business case, petrol versus diesel, becomes quite weak. You then have to drive, 20,000 kilometers or more a year to actually make a diesel worth investing in. And I think for many people, they're not doing that sort of mileage. And many people have just got diesel in their head without actually doing the maths and thinking about it. And a lot of people like the torque of diesels. Well, of course, with the TSI, you get very good levels of torque as well at quite low revs. So I think that will also satisfy those diesel lovers who like torque. and in terms of efficiency and cost of ownership, the TSI will also be very, very competitive. So I'm comfortable with our TSI strategy. I'm comfortable with our TSI engines. Just one final word on this is that the Rapid, we are selling more TSIs now than we sold of petrol and diesel combined before. And that for me is also a good indicator that TSI will be well accepted by Indian, he's being well accepted by Indian customers.
Also fun to drive. I think once you experience it, you realize how fun. All right, so one last thing. I started by talking about how exciting a day this is for you. 28th June 2022. What are we going to be looking at when it comes to Skoda's position in India?
28th of June 2022. Oh, we'll be well on the way to record sales for India for the Skoda brand. I'm very confident. By then, in a year's time, we will have the all three Aurangabad cars, the parts and components cars in the market, the Kodiaq petrol BS6. We will have the Superb, which is running very strong with 30% segment share. We'll have the Octavia, which is also meeting its objectives and performing really well for us. Plus the Kushaq will be well established in the marketplace then, and the sedan also. So we'll have all of the products available, and I'm confident we'll be selling well over 5,000 cars a month as a result.
All right, that's great. And I wish you more power to achieve that and more, actually. Thanks so much, Zac, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you, Siddharth. Thank you.